Thank you, Bill. Good morning, everyone. You may also know me from the cover of the reports that were sitting on your chair this morning. So take a look at that. In 1970, the New York Times highlighted a then revolutionary study led by the Smithsonian and NASA. And they wrote, and I quote, "An elk named Monique and a space satellite named Nimbus have a rendezvous to keep later this week on a snow-covered plain in Wyoming. In an experiment to study the migration habits of wildlife, a Nimbus weather satellite 700 miles overhead is scheduled to tune in twice a day on the elk." Learn more about this text history on Lacey Huey's poster this afternoon at lunch. But since 1970, this technology's advancement from an 11,000 gram satellite collar to 1 gram satellite tags has directly paralleled our own growth at SCBI. Studying animal movement with tracking technology has really become an immutable part of our science DNA. 50 years ago, we could only guess where the animals we studied went when they disappeared from view, like this plover that I attached a transmitter to in Alaska. Today, we follow them across continents and oceans and into an uncertain future. Many shorebird populations have lost 70% or more of their abundance since 1970. The data you see here have been used in over 20 conservation projects. Being a part of the National Zoo, we use both the science, like a paper of mine, and the story, like this comic book illustrating the scientific paper, to connect with communities for conservation impact, aligning with our main Smithsonian mission, the increase and diffusion of knowledge. And now I'll highlight 3 stories of conservation impact that we have had from following footprints, flights, and flippers. We heard already from Catherine and from Andy about how they have tracked the first footprints of reintroduced fox and oryx into the wild after reintroduction, allowing us to assess the success of the initiatives. In Africa, recognizing recent population declines of the world's tallest animal, NZCBI scientists have launched a strategic partnership with the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, termed Twiga Tracker, and Twiga is Swahili for giraffe. This initiative aims to increase our understanding of the space use needs of all 4 species of giraffe and providing relevant information on the size of protected areas. At the Migratory Bird Center, we started an initiative funded by the Knobloch Family Foundation called the Shorebird Science and Conservation Collective. We've collated shorebird tracking data from scores of contributors across the Western Hemisphere. The brightest points on this map show where most of the data are found, and we then matchmake these data with conservation questions. In our first 3 years, we supported 38 total requests, and now we're up to 50. Some individual birds, of course, are the conservation superstars like Dr. Love and Dolly, the long-billed curlews, tracked by Andy, who have contributed to the most projects. Our tracking work at SCBI includes animals that also like to keep their feet wet. Suzanne Murray partnered with the Loggerhead Marine Life Center to track Falafel, an amputee turtle impacted by a fishing hook, to assess his resilience. My work has informed a new United Nations treaty for the ocean through a synthesis of global marine megafauna tracking. And we'll hear from Jimena next, who uses tracking data from sharks, rays, and marine birds in Peru to identify best practices. But taken together, our tracking studies across continents and oceans have created a living network of what Peter introduced this morning as wild data. The data you see here are from a project I lead, the Migratory Connectivity Project, founded by Pete Mara. Together, we have tracked 76 bird species at SCBI, and adding project locations for non-avian species, we cover the world. And when you look at a map like this, imagine your own families, your travels, your collaborators, your friends, distributed across the world, and how our science connects to all of them. And finally, Peter mentioned this morning that we have the opportunity to announce to you that the Smithsonian, together with our partners, have recently established the first global biodiversity observation network for animal movement, start and lead right here to facilitate our data informing conservation at national and global scales. Today, I've highlighted the strength, leadership, and convening power SCBI has demonstrated over the last 50 years in translating our tracking science to conservation. And I really can't think of any other organization that has followed the footprints, flights, and flippers of a greater variety of species into conservation impact. So thank you for contributing to this.